Failures and rejections are common in life. No matter what goals or success you are trying to pursue, you will face setbacks, challenges, failures, and make mistakes on your journey. However, it is not those setbacks and failures that determine your success. It is how you deal with them that truly matters. Successful people understand that failures are an important part of success. They treat failures as part of success, not the opposite of it. They understand that the more you fail, the more and the faster you can achieve the success you want. And in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple steps you need to take to overcome failures and bounce back higher, stronger, and faster. This is Sean from StudyMotivation.com. If you are new here, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now to subscribe to my channel so that you will learn more about success and achieving your dreams. Now, let's talk about how to overcome failures and bounce back. Step number 1. Accept and let go. First, you have to understand that failure is inevitable and everyone experiences failures at some point in their life. It is a very normal phenomenon and it does not only happen to you, right? Steve Jobs was fired by the company he started, which to him at that time was a huge and very public failure. And before he returned to Apple 12 years later, he founded a company called Next Computer and also bought Pixar. Jobs inspired the team in Pixar to create the first animation movie, Toy Story, which became a blockbuster. After Jobs returned to Apple, he launched iPod, iPhone, and iPad, which revolutionized the technology industry and totally changed our daily lifestyle. Are you watching this video from your iPhone now? And here's what Jobs said about his going through failures.
I didn't see it then, but it turned out that getting fired from Apple was the best thing that could have ever happened to me. The heaviness of being successful was replaced by the lightness of being a beginner again, less sure about everything. It freed me to enter one of the most creative periods of my life.
As you can see, failure isn't something bad. In fact, failure can become the stepping stone to your success. Steve Jobs also said,
I'm pretty sure none of this would have happened if I hadn't been fired from Apple. It was awful tasting medicine, but I guess the patient needed it. Sometimes life's going to hit you in the head with a brick. Don't lose faith.
Yes, sometimes life can hit you with a brick on the head, but don't lose faith. You cannot achieve great success without going through failure, because failures allow you to learn, improve, and become a better person worthy of success. Here's an inspirational quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strengths. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. So don't be afraid to fail. Accept it so that you can let it go. Step number 2. Manufacture hope and see the possibility. The University of Kentucky published a list of extraordinary people who have successfully overcome big setbacks and failures in life. The list includes Henry Ford failed and went broke 5 times before he succeeded. Walt Disney was fired by a newspaper editor because he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. He went bankrupt several times before he built Disneyland. Charlie Chaplin was initially rejected by Hollywood studio chiefs because his pantomime was considered nonsense. Van Gogh sold only 1 painting during his life. The painting was sold to his friend's sister, but that didn't stop him from completing over 800 paintings. And the list goes on and on. If you look at all the extraordinary people out there, all of them gone through failures before. They screwed up big in life, but yet they are able to bounce back and achieve the success they desire. In the first step, you learn to accept failure, right? The second step is about possibility. The success you want to achieve is within your reach, even if you are nowhere near there right now. Even if you have failed and are at the bottom of your life, success is possible as long as you don't give up. When you fail, it doesn't mean that you are a failure. Failure is an event, not a person. You are not a failure. It simply means that what you did isn't working and you need to change your strategy or approach. So don't make it personal. It is not about you. It is about your method. So learn more about success and create hope for the success you want. Read success stories of extraordinary people, especially those who are in your industry. Surround yourself with other successful people and positive people. Learn how they did it and model after their success. And that's how you can manufacture hope and make success possible again. Step number 3. Be brutally honest and learn from your mistakes. While it is important to stay optimistic and be hopeful for the things you want, you must also be honest and learn from your mistakes. You have to face it, okay? The reason you fail is that you are not good enough. But that doesn't mean you cannot improve. Be brutally honest. Face the fact that you have failed and then learn from it. When most people fail, they choose to play the blame game. They blame everyone and everything except themselves. They make lame excuses and then they justify. So don't become like most people. You have to be honest and confront the truth and answer the question, why did I fail? If you don't ask this question, you don't learn. And if you don't learn, you are going to repeat the mistake again in the future. Albert Einstein once said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. So don't be insane, okay? Face the truth, face the fact, and find out why you failed. This is the best moment for you to improve and become better. You see, when you succeed, you celebrate, right? And there's nothing much to learn from celebration. But when you fail, things will be different. When you fail, you tend to ponder. You ask yourself why you fail and you find out all the reasons. You then improve it. You do it again with a different strategy or method. And that's how you become better and better and improve to become more successful. So when you fail, be honest and accept failure. Accept the fact that you have made mistakes and you need to course correct. It doesn't mean that you are a failure, but rather it is telling you that your approach is not correct and you need to make a change. Now, it is time for you to relaunch. Step number 4 is to reimagining your success. Start over again by visualizing the success you desire. When you fail, it may be difficult to refocus and pay attention to your vision because everything around you just collapses. But you must not let your focus get blurry. It is at the time of difficulties that what you focus on becomes even more important. You have to understand that failure is not the end of the world. You may have failed now, but it doesn't mean that you will fail again in the future. You just need to envision a bigger and brighter future. Build a strong desire and use that desire to spark your motivation again. Do you know that J.K. Rowling, the author who wrote Harry Potter, took 7 years to complete the first Harry Potter book? And during those 7 years, she was fired from her job, suffered a short-lived marriage, her beloved mother passed away, became unemployed, and has to go through the darkest periods of her life as a lone mother. It wasn't easy, but Rowling did not give up on her idea for Harry Potter. She chose to focus on her dreams despite all the difficulties. She chose to see the possibilities that the book would bring rather than seeing it as a failure. Of course, in the end, she made it. J.K. Rowling became the first female billionaire author in history. Therefore, no matter how difficult or how tough the situation is, you want to keep your focus on the success you want. Imagine the success you want. Revisit the purpose of why you want what you want. Write down your goals and dreams. Write down the success you want. Visualize and see yourself as a success. Helen Keller once said, "Keep your face to the sun and you will never see the shadows." Focus on success and the fear will dissipate. Step number 5. The final step is this. Start over again, but with an edge this time. You have already experienced the failure. You have already made the mistakes and you have learned the lessons. It is time to bounce back higher, stronger, and faster. You see, when you fall down, you always have a choice. You can choose to stay there, or you can choose to get up, dust off, and then try again with a better approach. You can fall down 7 times, but choose to get back up and do it again for the 8th time. What truly matters is that you don't give up and choose to do it one more time. How many times should you do it again and try again? Well, until you get it, until you get the results you want, right? As long as you get back up, learn, improve, and do it again, you stand a chance to achieve what you want with an advantage. Successful people are successful because they get wiser and better along the journey. When you fail, you learn, and when you learn, You improve, you get better, right? And when you become better, you can achieve more. That's how successful people did it. The first 3 rocket launches from SpaceX were failures. But did Elon Musk give up? No, he didn't. SpaceX almost went bankrupt, but the team learned the lesson. The 4th launch was important to the company because they were running out of capital and it was SpaceX's last hope. If the 4th launch fails, there won't be any SpaceX anymore. And of course, in 2008, SpaceX launched their 4th rocket successfully, and the rest was history. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Mistakes and failures make you wiser, stronger, and better. So it is time for you to relaunch and start over again. Your failures are your experience, and your experience allows you to create better success in the future. Do not give up and do it one more time. So, this is how you overcome failure and bounce back higher and faster. Remember this, failure and success are on the same side. Failure is not the opposite of success. In fact, failure is the reason why you succeed. That's why you should not be afraid of failure, and you should accept failure and mistake with open arms. I hope this video will inspire you to try one more time. If you like this video, smash the like button and share it with people who need to see it. And most importantly, make sure you hit the subscribe button right now. Subscribe to my channel to learn more about success and turning your dreams into reality. Here's a saying I want you to remember. You can face many defeats in life, but you must not be defeated. Thank you for watching. That's all for now. See ya.